Good afternoon, family and friends. It's Monday, and we're starting our new schedule of Faith Talk and continuing on some straight talk conversation for today. In light of most recent events, as we've seen over the course of this past week, over the course of what's been going on, there are so many different emotions that many of us are feeling. Navigating through emotions that we never thought we would have to deal with in our lifetime. Conversations that we didn't think we would have to continue to the magnitude or to the degree that we are. And we find ourselves not repeating history, but building history yet again. And it's in these anguishable moments that we are realizing and recognizing that the difficulty has not subsided. The fight has not subsided. We're just fighting at a different time. And it's difficult. It's a straight talk conversation today, building upon our straight talk conversation from this past Friday that Lady Carlene and I had. And you would think, or I thought, that the emotions would, to a degree, die down. But I must say that they are even the more heightened today, especially after having to connect with my students through computer, through cellular device, and not being able to see them face to face and to communicate with them about what's going on. Needless to say, the pen that the psalmist David shared in the 61st Psalm, when my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I, as King James Version records. It's literally my sentiments today when throughout the day, emotions and waves of emotions took over. There are really no words to describe the feelings that you have as a Black man in such a difficult time. There are feelings because you are seeing your friends, you are seeing your family members, you are participating, and you are ultimately engaged in a situation that you thought you would only hear about, not a situation you thought that you would have to participate in your time in history. These were things that we read in our history textbooks, but were minimized. The impacts of what was discussed was minimized. The impact of what was going on was minimized. And now today we are seeing it at a greater magnitude because we were young people when I believe I was maybe 16 years old when Trayvon Martin's killer went free. And so I believe my father-in-law said this was really a powder keg that was just brewing for such a time. And now here it's been kicked open. Here we are. Here we are dealing with these raw emotions and these raw feelings, trying to navigate through, trying to see hope and beauty throughout it all. And I share this and welcome to all of you who are watching live and all of you who will hopefully be able to catch the replay. Last week, Straight Talk didn't make it to replay. Instagram censored that which was spoken about, so it's not posted. But it is on our YouTube page, so you can definitely see it on YouTube. But there are lots of different thoughts and lots of different opinions that Lady Carlene and I shared. And one thing that I definitely want to clarify is that I'm not an advocate for violence. I'm not an advocate for violence. I do not believe in the looting or agree with it. What I do agree with is the sharing of your opinion and the voicing of your opinion to be heard. And it is unfortunate that it seems as though this is the way in which individuals have to share and to communicate their opinion today to be heard. And this is where we are. I do not believe in destroying our communities for the betterment of others and for the encouragement or whatever it is that you are doing it to do. I don't believe that, especially in the middle of a global health pandemic when there are families who are depending upon their local Target or depending upon their local Walmart who need, and then those families who were employed by a local Target no longer have a job. I don't condone it. I don't agree with it. What I do agree with is you standing up for what you stand up for. And so it's difficult. And I know that you are feeling such raw emotions. Know that God speaks to us through those emotions. There were many moments today and over the weekend where I started to ponder and to consider, well, what should I be doing? I should be doing more. And I realized even the more that I'm a man of education and I commit myself to the education of others. There have been many individuals who've contacted me from my present day work and those I've come across paths with many, many months and years ago, just asking what can be done. And I believe wholeheartedly that the work really starts within each and every one of us. The work begins in our hearts. The work begins in us. There are things within us that are nasty and ravaging. And I've realized even the more the feelings and the difficulties that I have within me that cause me not to shine the light of Jesus Christ. I'm not saying this as a cliche. I'm not saying this as an individual who doesn't understand the difficulties that we're facing. Because believe you me, I'm hurting too. Believe you me, this is emotional for me as well. Believe you me, it is not a good thing or encouraging to see that there are individuals who are standing outside and rioting and sharing their opinions, and then they are walking home bruised and battered and their faces are destroyed, and that individuals are being tear gassed in their faces when we thought that this was done for. But it does not mean, hear me clearly, it does not mean that this does not impact me. What I am sharing is that even the more I realize the need for the love of Jesus Christ to shine in our hearts, to shine among each and every one of us. And here's a difficulty. Here's a difficulty. Even in the midst of this difficulty, even in the midst of this uncertain time. Earlier today, I was thinking even the more, yes, what can I do? I shared, I'm a man of education, but I realized even the more that no matter how much I accomplish, no matter what I do, no matter how many degrees or whatever many letters come after my name, I'm still a black man. Yes, I'm still a black man that will be targeted. Yes, I'm still a black man that will have said things will be said about me. I'll be watched and followed as I walk throughout a store. I might be in a suit. I might be in a clergy collar. It doesn't matter. I'm still a black man. But I'm also still a believer in Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. And that's wholehearted, right? And there are difficulties in Austria. There are things that will be said because I follow the guidelines of Jesus. Injustice, it's real. It's happening. It's happening today. It's been happening for years and years and years. I think back to Exodus 1. Think back to Exodus 1 when Moses, because of the genocide that was taking place and the killing of the children of Israel. Think about when Jesus was coming into the world. And King Herod declared that all of the sons should be killed. There's so much travesty in our world. There's so much. And here's an encouragement to you. You may not be an individual who might go out and protest. You may not be an individual who's going out and sharing and on the front lines. There's a need for you today. If you can fund and encourage those who have been incarcerated for protesting and sharing, then do so, right? If you are an individual who continues and commits yourself to sharing the love of Jesus Christ and loving your neighbor as yourself and showing others the beauty in connectedness and multiculturalism and multiracial communication, do so. There's a need. Our brothers and our sisters who don't really look like us, they want to know. There are many of them who want to know what they can do right now. There are many of them who want to understand how they can help. There are many of them who are desiring to hear you share with them specifically what it is that you are going through, not so that they can give us sympathy, but that they can empathize and that they can have an understanding about what we are dealing with. There are many individuals who don't know and will never know and will never understand how it feels to not be able to wear a hoodie as you're driving in your car, or to concern yourself with what you're wearing because you're driving down the street or you're walking to the store, because of all the stories and the ridiculousness that goes on and that we have to deal with. The concerns that we have to carry in our hearts and in our minds concerning our children, our nephews, our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, our uncles. They may never understand that. But what they can understand is your experience if you share it. There are many willing to hear, willing to understand, willing to come to grips and come to terms and acknowledge their privilege. And so, yes, I'm angry. Yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm hurt. Yes, I've been crying off and on. Today, the days ahead, I perceive that to be a reality. And my encouragement to you, brothers and sisters, don't be stuck on what others are attempting to get you to do. Ask God what you can do. How can you help? Don't focus on what others want you to do, because not everyone is made for the streets. That's just a valid truth and reality. There are some who need to stay home and watch children. There are some who need to stay home and help educate. There are some who need to be at home researching and finding out ways to bail out others and making phone calls. There are some who just need to do what they can do. Whatever you can do, then do that. And don't allow anyone else to guilt you into having to do something that you're not comfortable doing. That does not mean that you are against the movement. You are doing what you can do. Continue to pray. Pray for those who are dealing. Pray for those who are attempting each and every day to make it their life's goal. I'm praying for law enforcement. I'm praying for educators. I'm praying for the essential workers still to this day. There are many men and women of God, many men and women who are still attempting to work on the front lines in the middle of a global health pandemic and still fighting with racism, still dealing with this and the emotional toll that we are dealing with. It is not easy. I will not lie to you. I will not try and fluff it up. I will not try and pacify it. It is not easy. This is real. This is real. And listen, I know that we're angry. I know. But let's use wisdom. Don't be senseless. Don't go out there attempting to do things. Here's a true reality, unfortunately, right? They have more weapons than we do, and they have armor. Many of us do not. Use wisdom. There are families that we still have to go home to. There are children that we still have to go home to. There's a lineage. There are young people. And I'm not trying to, and I will not dare dwindle the fire that is on the inside of our young people, the inside of people my age. We're fired up, really, because we've seen this go on for too long. We've dealt with this for too long, and we're tired. So tired that in the middle of a global health pandemic, we'll risk our lives and we'll go outside and we'll protest and we'll yell and we'll shout and we'll scream so that someone can hear us, so that the system can understand. Let us ever more focus on these truths and these realities. That this isn't our fight. We're not fighting against you and me. We're not fighting against the white person. We're fighting against the system of racism. We're fighting against the system of police brutality, injustices, any and everywhere, that are geared towards African American men and women. Racism in the medical field, as it pertains to our Black women giving birth and their doctors not believing them because they perceive that it's something that they just and exaggerate. No, it's a system. And that's what we're coming for. Some of us are coming for it in prayer. Some of us are coming for it out on the street. However you can. Some of us are coming for it in the classroom with students and with our coworkers. However you can communicate. However you can bring light and shed light. Do so. And don't be guilted. Please don't. Because don't do something out of guilt, but do it because of your genuine concern, your genuine desire to see progression, your genuine desire to see a change come about. Because if you do it just because your brother and your sister are encouraging you to do it, are you really doing it because you desire to? Likewise, when it comes to our conversion and our growth in Jesus Christ, are we doing it just because we want to do it? Or are we doing it because we see someone else doing it? No, we have to be serious and truthful about it. And so my encouragement today in Straight Talk Part 2, right? My encouragement, bro, my encouragement says, do what you can do. Shed light as much as you can. If you can go out, go out. If you can watch the kids, watch the kids. If you can share posts, share posts. If you can call them up, get lawyers on the phone, then get lawyers on the phone. Fight how you can. But understand that we're not fighting against the person. We're fighting against the system. It's a system of racial injustices from the head. And you know what I'm talking about. From the head, from our leader. We didn't vote for him, but he's sitting in the seat. And so here we are, fighting a fight that we thought was done. But truthfully, it was never finished. And can I be completely honest? It never will be. And so I'm praying for you because you will have overwhelming days. You will have difficult moments where you're grasping and trying to grapple with the fact that you are dealing with a system that was never set up for us to succeed in. I'm praying for you because there'll be days where you'll just start crying because you don't understand. And you're trying to grapple with that. You're trying to grasp that understanding. I'm praying with you for every mother, for every father that's raising a child in today's society. I'm praying for our grandparents who have to see us now go through the same situations that they went through. I'm praying for our grandparents who had to deal with the same difficulties that we had to deal with. And now they're seeing it as a time machine over and over, history repeating itself. It will be overwhelming. There are difficult moments, but let me encourage you, brother and sister. God has not left us. We are not powerless. We are not without hope. Jesus loves us. He hasn't left us in this situation. He didn't leave us years ago. He's here with us today, and he is not disregarding of our feelings or what we are dealing with. He knows every feeling that we are dealing with. He understands the difficulties that we are grasping and how we are attempting to move forward, my brother, my sister. There are dark days, but I know a light that shines in the midst of darkness. You know a light, and you can be that light. You can commit yourself to follow love at all costs. I know it's difficult. I know it's heartbreaking. But because individuals can hate without reason, I can love without reason. I can love because God loved me, and I can share that love. I'm not saying that we forget. I'm not saying that we just wash our hands and say, no, this didn't happen. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I can rise above and I can decide to have love in my heart and share that love. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't want to carry the cancer of hatred. Because the cancer of hatred will kill me faster. And if I feel in my heart that I just want to hurt you and hurt this one because they did me wrong, then that's all I'll live my life based off of. The fact that individuals have wronged me and individuals have done things to me. I'm not going to pacify and say, yeah, they talked about Jesus. Yeah, they spat on Jesus. Yeah, they stabbed him. It's true. They did. It's true. And in his humanity, he dealt with it and he felt. And so that's how he can understand how I'm feeling today. That's how he can understand how you're feeling today. Because the same people he thought he could live amongst showed their true colors and crucified him. Listen, I'm praying for you. This is no easy task. What's crazy is that just days ago, we found out about this. Friday, weekend, and here many of us are working in the middle of a pandemic from home. Not only a pandemic, but riots outside our very door. And still having to push forward. That speaks to the beauty in who we are. That we can find the strength each and every day by the help of our gracious and loving Father, that we can continue to progress. I'm praying for you. I know it's rough. I know there have been some dark days. I know there have been some dark moments. I know you've wanted to throw in the towel. I know that you're angry. I know. You can be angry. And yes, you've heard it. Absolutely. Be angry and sin not. Use wisdom, bro. Use wisdom, sis. Don't go out there and just lay your life down. There are people depending on you. There are people that need you. And do whatever you can. I'm summing it up. Do whatever you can to help, to shed light in the midst of this dark world. I'm shedding the light of love. That's what I'm committing to. You can scrutinize me. You can ostracize me. You can kick me out. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm shedding the light of love. I'm hurt. It hurts. It hurts. But love, it helps. It doesn't heal. It does heal because God is love. It doesn't erase the memory of what's going on, but it helps me each and every day to understand. I was thinking just this past weekend, it's like, God, this world is it's crazy. The word of God reminded me that in this world we'll have trouble, but take heart because he's overcome the world. And we too can overcome because greater is he in us than he that's in this world. It's dark, but there's a light on the inside of each and every one of us. I'm praying for you. I love you. Shed love. Spread love. Spread the Father's love, the unconditional love, the love without restraint. Love beyond what you ever thought you could do. We need more now than ever before. Love that constrains us. Love that reminds us that we're not alone. Thank God for the Comforter, because there are many moments on this journey where we need the comfort of our gracious and loving Father. I'm praying for you. I love you. I truly do. I truly, truly love you. Just as much as anyone can hate you just without cause, just because of the color of your skin. I love you because I know the one who died for you. I love you so much because he died for me and showed me what true love is. And now I can love you, my brother, my sister. I'm praying for you. God bless you. This was our Faith Talk. And I'll see you on Friday at 5 p.m. God bless.